Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting really practical. We're basically opening up the playbook of successful e-commerce folks, brand owners, dropshippers.
Yeah, we looked at a whole bunch of interviews with people actively using Koala Inspector. You know, that tool for checking out Shopify stores?
And we're pulling out the core workflows, the stuff that actually works.
Exactly. The mission here isn't theory, it's about building a real-world roadmap from what users actually do. Like a step-by-step journey based on how they turn looking at competitors into making quick, smart decisions.
Okay.
We're focused only on the habits that, well, seem to be making the money.
Right. Cutting through the noise. So let's frame the main challenge here. You're an e-commerce entrepreneur, maybe launching something new like fitness gear, maybe unique jewelry. You can't just guess what's going to sell. You need to know fast if a product has real demand and if competitors are actually effective. How do they even start?
That's the core problem.
Yeah.
So our kind of composite user, this successful entrepreneur type, needs a solid way to check things out. And what's interesting is they often don't start inside Koala Inspector.
Oh, okay. Where then?
Well, they usually start discovery somewhere else, maybe scrolling the Facebook ad library or using these specialized hunter apps.
Hunter apps?
Yeah, tools that basically scrape social media looking for products, getting tons of engagement, finding those initial sparks.
Gotcha. So an external tool flags a potential shop. They've got a store name. What's the very first thing they do inside Koala?
Okay, this is key. They immediately hit the shop traffic feature.
Right away.
Instantly. This is where they're super efficient. They're asking one simple question. Is this story even worth my time? And they filter ruthlessly.
How? What are they looking for?
They told us they often look for a specific traffic range, usually something like 5,000 to maybe 15,000 monthly visits. If it's below that, you just drop it and move on. There's no point in analyzing how it goes down.
Hold on. That range, 5K to 15K, sounds really specific. Why that number? Is it just filtering out tiny shops?
It's strategic, yeah. Below that range, it might just be a test shop or someone just tinkering. That 5K plus signals, they're likely running paid ads, they're actually fulfilling orders, it's a real business.
Okay.
And crucially, they also check where the traffic's coming from. Like one user specifically mentioned only digging deeper if, say, 75% or more of the traffic was from the US because that was their target market.
Oh, so it's demand validation, step one. Makes sense.
Precisely.
So, okay, they validated the traffic. The store seems legit and relevant. What's next? Step two.
Step 2, identify the hit. They dive straight into the best sellers list for that shot.
Because that shows what's actually moving the needle right now.
Exactly. It cuts through all the other products they might have listed. It confirms if that trend they spotted somewhere else is actually translating into sales for this competitor. It builds confidence.
Okay, so they know the shop's real, they know the top product, then what? Strategy.
Yeah, then they shift to figuring out the how. Step 3 is strategy in the tech stack. They'll check out ad campaigns first.
To see how they're marketing it. Facebook ads, Google ads.
Right, trying to reverse engineer the ad strategy. But after ads, the real deep insight often comes from looking at the shop apps and the theme the store is using.
Okay, for listeners maybe not super deep in Shopify technical stuff, why look at the apps and theme? What does that tell you?
Well, the theme impacts site speed, the look and feel, user experience, but the shop apps, that's often the conversion engine.
Like what apps?
Things like review platforms, maybe those countdown timers for scarcity, any pop-ups for email capture or upsells, all the tools successful stores use to optimize the actual buying process.
So spying on their apps gives you a kind of blueprint for what tools you might need for your store.
Pretty much. It shows you what tech stack is working for a successful competitor in your niche. Huge shortcut.
Okay, this leads us nicely into the really high-value stuff. The features that users said gave them a massive edge, saved them tons of time. First one sounds like surveillance.
Yeah, passive competitive surveillance. The track shop feature came up a lot. People love this.
How does it work?
You tell Koala to track specific competitor shops and it sends you daily emails if anything changes, like if they drop prices, add new products, or remove old ones.
Oh, so you don't have to manually check every day.
Exactly. As one user literally said, it removes the need to check by myself every time. It's like an automated watchdog for your competition.
That's powerful. And the other big efficiency booster you mentioned was for actually building out your own store. Something about CSV export file?
Right, the export CSV feature. Sounds a bit technical, but the time-saving benefit is huge.
What does it actually export?
It doesn't just grab product names. It pulls the competitors' optimized product data. So descriptions, details, even the image URLs.
So you can just take that data?
Well, you use it as a foundation. It lets users quickly get a product listing framework into their own Shopify store. Saves potentially days of writing descriptions from scratch or finding images. It's a refined starting point, especially for stores with lots of products like home decor or general stores.
And they trust this data?
Yeah, that was another point. They mentioned choosing Koala specifically because they felt the data was more accurate, especially compared to other alternatives, which they felt weren't reliable enough when real money was involved. They needed precision.
So, pulling it all together, what we're seeing is Koala Inspector isn't just for finding random products. It's really this rapid validation engine. You start with external research, instantly check if there's real demand via traffic, confirm the winning product with bestsellers, and then you basically get the blueprint, the marketing angles, the tech stack for how to potentially replicate that success.
Exactly. It streamlines that whole process, which actually leads to a bigger sort of question, doesn't it? Given how fast and accurate these kinds of intelligence tools are getting and how quickly you can see what's working and, well, adapt, how is this fundamentally changing the game? Are we moving away from expensive trial and error marketing towards this constant informed surveillance being the norm?
That is definitely something to think about, especially as you're planning your next move. Lots to digest there. We'll talk to you soon on the deep dive.